Hi Cross Stitch World, I'm Tracy, the Fresh Coast Stitcher, and today is Friday, February 28th. Where did February go, you guys? I can't believe that tomorrow is the last day, and tomorrow, Leap Day, new start. So I'm not doing the long dog sampler stitch along with Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher, but I am taking her up on her idea of starting a kind of a new specialish, bigger pattern on Leap Day, and then with the goal of having it done before the next Leap Day, which is in 4 years. So we'll get to that in a minute, and stick around till the end because I did a thing, you guys. I did a thing, and I'm gonna share it with you at the end. So stick around. But so my Saturday start last week was Snow House by Lizzie Kate, and I changed the color of the roof and the color of the house, and I didn't finish this. I thought I might, but who am I to kid? You always think things aren't going to take as long as they do, and then they take a while. But I got pretty far for one day. Yeah, do this so I can hold it up here. So that's how far I got, and since I didn't finish it, it went on my Tiny Decisions wheel, and it will just get worked on the next time that comes up. So yeah, Snow House by Lizzie Kate. Last Saturday's new start. And then my other whips. So since this is like my last recording in February, I'll show you guys my Granny Square temperature chart. This is by Carol Manning Designs, and I have kept up. I still, of course, have to do today's, but other than today and tomorrow, all of February is done. It looks kind of cool. There's, you can kind of tell, let me see, like this color here, if you can see it, are like 45-ish degree days. We had this one here with the yellow in the middle. That was a 50-degree day, I think. It's still been really unseasonably warm here in Michigan. I mean, it's been in the 20s the last couple days, and on and off. It's been a real roller coaster with the temperatures this winter. But the last 2 or 3 years, maybe, we've had at least one polar vortex each year, if not several. Last winter, it seems like we had maybe 5 or 6 days in a row when the temperature was below zero. And I'm not talking the wind chill, you guys. I'm talking the actual temperature was below zero last year. And we just haven't had that this year. I think the coldest high temperature, if that makes sense, during the day that we've had this winter has been like maybe 18 or 19 degrees. So not too shabby. And you know, March is starting, so unless March ends up being crazy, and as of right now, it's supposed to be 53 degrees on Sunday. So spring might be coming early, guys. So there's that, and I'll show that again at the end of March, beginning of April. I'm only going to show it once a month so you guys don't get extremely bored by looking at it every single week because it just looks the same frequently. So my whip of the week last week that came up on the Tiny Decisions wheel was Charland's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush, and I'm making this for my daughter Lacroix. And I said this last week too, but I don't really have any desire to learn how to do the insert picture or any of that stuff. So go to my Instagram page, Fresh Coast Stitcher, and it's also down below, and you can see before and after. When I'm done stitching tonight on it before bed, I will post before and after pictures on Instagram so you can see where I was before I started this week. But I got so far, you guys. So far, and I love this. So here we go. I think when I stopped before, I had her dress done. So in like this heart, maybe this, no, I just had the dress and the things on this side and the sheep's antlers. And now I got the words one light, the wings, that ornament, the trees, the grass at the bottom, and I started this little motif. So I have a feeling that the next time this one gets called on the Tiny Decisions wheel, I'll probably finish it. And it is so fun and so easy to stitch. I didn't do, there's like you can buy a packet of beads and little buttons and trinkets to put on it. And I didn't get that just because I didn't feel like it. And so I've kind of had to modify some things where beads or other little stick-ons, for lack of a better word, would go. But it's been fine. And I'm really looking forward to stitching these for the rest of our family, especially since it's gone so fast. So this is going really fast, you guys. But oh, I remember I was gonna talk to you guys about something. So black work. Talk to me about black work, because here's the thing. I've been seeing other floss tubers talk about it. I've been seeing lots of, maybe I haven't heard floss tubers talk about it so much, but I've seen other people post things on Instagram about it, and I've seen some really cool black work patterns. So looking at them, I was thinking, it just looks like backstitching. What's the big deal? It's just backstitching. And so I thought, it's got to be more complicated than that to have like a whole name for what it is. So I did some research online, watched a couple of YouTube tutorials. From what I can gather, it's just backstitching, right? Right? Tell me, comment below, tell me if I'm wrong. But I think I want to do one of those patterns, and maybe once I start the pattern, I'll figure out that it's more than just backstitching, but I don't mind backstitching, and some of the patterns are really cool, you guys. So yeah, black work. Talk to me about it down below, if you know anything about it. Okay, so my Saturday start tomorrow. Leap year, new start, Saturday start for me is going to be Map of Hawk Run Hollow. So I saw, shortly after I started my Flosstube journey, I saw somebody, I don't remember who it was now, post their whip, and it was the shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I immediately fell in love. And then I was just like searching around, you know, on the interwebs, and discovered all these other Hawk Run Hollow patterns. And my husband saw Map of Hawk Run Hollow, and he fell in love. His birthday is in March. This was going to be his birthday start with my old plans that just got kind of thrown out the window, and now I've got new plans, which really aren't any plans at all. They're just whatever. But so, and because of his birthday is coming up, and because this is special to him because he really loves it, that makes it special to me. So this is my, I'll show you again, Map of Hawk Run Hollow, my new leap year, new start for this year, with the goal of having it done by the next leap day in 4 years. I think I can do that. Yeah? You think? Maybe? We'll see. That sun looks like fun. All of it really looks like fun, you guys. And I'm gonna stitch this on 18 count Vintage Country Mocha Aida. I was gonna do it on like you know, Lugana or linen fabric, just because it's oh, you can't really see the, there you go. But then, you know, I keep losing my train of thought, sorry guys. The more I got thinking about it, I'm not real good at stitching on those types of fabrics yet, and this being a rather big piece, I just thought I'll just do it on what I know. And I love the Vintage Country Mocha. So when I saw that you could get it in Aida as well, I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. So that's my plan. That's what I'm gonna start tomorrow. Super excited about it. And, you know, of course, there probably won't be a huge amount of progress like there's been on some of the other news, you know, Saturday starts that I've done that are smaller, but I'm really looking forward to this. It'll be a good time. Okay, you guys. Okay. Are you ready? I did a thing. Don't count on this happening again in the near future, if ever. But, so, here's what happened. I was watching a TV show. I don't even remember what show it was now. We've binge watched so many shows lately. I don't remember. But, I was watching a TV show. One of the characters said to another character, perspective is the key to happiness, or something along those lines. And that really struck home with me. Over the last few years, I've struggled a lot with happiness. I've struggled with depression. I have anxiety. There's been just a lot of shit has happened in the last few years, you guys. And that saying just really struck home with me. Perspective is the key to happiness. And it's so true. And so every time that I start to feel sad or gross or whatever, I just remind myself of that it really is all about perspective. Life is just about perspective in general. And it's up to me to choose how I feel. Nobody else can make me feel a certain way. It's up to me to choose that and then to move forward with it. So I've been thinking about that saying for a while. And then Tuesday, this picture just popped in my head. And I just kind of thought about it all morning Tuesday when I was at work. During lunch, I sketched it out, and I am not an artist. I cannot draw. I am not creative usually. Like when I cross stitch, it's basically, my husband always says, you are an artist, you are creative, but I'm really not, because he's talking about my cross stitch, but it's just basically paint by number. I think I've said that before, is what I do when I cross stitch. I'm just following a pattern or a recipe or whatever, basically is what it is a recipe. So for me to be able to actually draw on paper what I was seeing in my brain and have it actually look the same was amazing for me. It's never happened before. All of the stars and planets must have aligned just perfectly in order for this to happen. Maybe it's because Mercury's in retrograde. I don't know. I'm just going with it. But I decided to make it into a cross stitch chart, you guys. So I'm pulling it up right now so I can show you. So my sister had gotten me like graph paper for charting stuff, because sometimes I just do like cutesy little word things that I give away as gifts. So my sister had given me graph paper. So I started charting it on the graph paper. And then after I drew it, I charted it on the graph paper. And then I discovered a free website. I think it's called Stitch Fiddler, something like that, where it gives you the grid and you can design your own pattern. And for like $3 for a month subscription, it gives you lots of options to do stuff. So, do you want to see it? I'm so proud and so excited about this. I haven't stitched it yet because, like I said, this just happened this week. I'm going to show you guys. So, and it's on my iPad and the keyboard's still attached, so, but can you see? Oh, crap. The light's going to make it so you can't see it, you guys. Can you see it? Hopefully on the screen it's actually better. I don't have an actual picture or anything. This is just what I've got. But there's hearts. There's a little pink whale with birds on his back. Can I? Yeah, sorry guys. Darn it all. And then it says, perception is the key to happiness. So I wonder if I take it off the keyboard. Let's see if I can do it better that way. Boom. There it is. There it is. Yay! So I'm going to stitch this, and I'm going to, the words are actually, I'm going to fill them in and then backstitch around them. I couldn't figure out on the free program how to fill in like a half stitch. I couldn't figure it out and I didn't want to deal with it. So I know what it is. And then I am going to stitch the whale in this DMC E818 Light Effects. I don't know if you guys can see there's sparklies in it. So that's going to be so cool. So that's what I'm going to do. So I am not spinning the wheel, the Tiny Decision wheel this week, to get my whip of the week, because the Linen and Threads mystery sampler, the March pattern dropped already. So I think it just dropped today. So I'm going to work on that this week. Well, you know, tomorrow, Hawkhorn Hollow. And then starting Sunday, I'm going to start working on the my whip of the week. This week will be getting the March part of the mystery sampler done. And it's really small this month. There's not a lot of stitching. I'm guessing I'll probably have it done Sunday, depending on, although Sunday is supposed to be really nice. I'll probably be outside. Probably before Tuesday I'll have that done. And then I'm going to start stitching my whale. So maybe I'll have that done by next week and I'll be able to show you guys. Don't hold your breath, but maybe. My husband is dyeing a piece of fabric for me right now, a piece of 18 count Aida that was white, and he's dyeing it. We use gray. I wanted to do it like on a deep dark gray, kind of like the color of this wall behind me. It came out more of like a bluish, purplish color, but I think it's gonna still be okay because I think it's gonna look amazing still. I might have to change the color of some of the flowers maybe, or the birds. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so super excited. And I don't want to share the pattern yet because I just want to stitch it and make sure that the pattern actually works and comes out okay. And then if anybody else wants to stitch it, I'd be happy just to send you the pattern. I'm not going to sell it, or like I said, I am not a designer. I am not an artist. This was just a whim that came out of my head, like an amazing thing. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if anybody else wants that, after I stitch it and make sure that everything stitches up okay, I would be happy to share it with anybody that wants it. So yeah, so that's all. I have to go make dinner and do all the grown-up things and maybe stitch some more on Lacroix stocking, and I'm gonna let you guys go. So have a great weekend, an amazing stitchy week, and keep it fresh. I love you guys.